The 21st century has witnessed a dramatic shift in the global balance of power. The world is no longer dominated by a single superpower, but rather, it is increasingly characterized by a multipolar distribution of influence and authority. China's meteoric rise, economically and militarily, has challenged the United States' long-held position as the world's sole superpower. Over the past few decades, China has transformed itself from a largely agrarian society into an industrial and technological powerhouse. Its rapid economic growth has been accompanied by significant advancements in military capabilities, making it a formidable competitor on the global stage. This power dynamic has created a complex and often fraught relationship between the two nations. Diplomatic engagements are frequently marked by a mix of cooperation and contention, as both countries navigate their respective national interests and global ambitions. Areas of cooperation such as trade are overshadowed by growing competition and mistrust. The economic interdependence between the United States and China is both a source of strength and a point of vulnerability, as each nation seeks to protect its own economic interests while leveraging its influence over the other. From trade wars to technological rivalry, the United States and China find themselves locked in a struggle for global influence. The competition extends beyond traditional economic sectors to cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, 5G networks, and quantum computing. Both nations are investing heavily in innovation, seeking to gain a strategic advantage in these critical areas. The stakes are high, with each nation accusing the other of undermining its interests and seeking to reshape the world order in its image. Nationalistic sentiments are on the rise, fueling public support for more assertive foreign policies and heightening the risk of miscalculation and conflict. This rivalry extends to the military sphere, raising concerns about a new arms race and the potential for conflict. Both countries are modernizing their armed forces, conducting large-scale military exercises, and developing advanced weaponry, including hypersonic missiles and cyber warfare capabilities. The specter of a new Cold War hangs heavy over this relationship. While the ideological divide of the past may not be as pronounced, the strategic competition and mutual suspicion are reminiscent of the U.S.-Soviet rivalry that defined much of the 20th century. While not a direct replay of the last century's ideological struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union, the parallels are undeniable. The current tensions echo the geopolitical maneuvering and proxy conflicts that characterized the Cold War era. We see a similar dynamic of competition, mistrust, and the potential for dangerous escalation. Both nations are vying for influence in key regions around the world, from the South China Sea to Africa and Latin America, often bringing them into direct or indirect confrontation. The world watches with bated breath as these two giants navigate this precarious terrain. The international community is acutely aware that the actions and decisions of the United States and China will have far-reaching implications for global stability and security. The future of global stability may well depend on their ability to manage their differences and find ways to coexist peacefully. Diplomatic efforts, confidence-building measures, and multilateral engagements will be crucial in preventing the rivalry from spiraling into open conflict. The alternative is a world defined by division, suspicion, and the ever-present threat of conflict. The stakes could not be higher, and the path forward will require careful navigation, mutual respect, and a commitment to peaceful coexistence. Both the United States and China possess formidable nuclear arsenals, capable of unimaginable destruction. These two superpowers have been at the forefront of nuclear capabilities, each with a unique history and approach to their nuclear strategies. The United States, having developed nuclear weapons earlier, maintains a larger and more sophisticated stockpile. This early development gave the U.S. a significant head start in nuclear technology and strategy, allowing it to build a diverse and advanced arsenal over the decades. It includes intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers. These components form a triad that ensures the U.S. can deliver a nuclear strike from land, sea, or air, making its deterrent highly resilient and versatile. These weapons form the backbone of America's nuclear deterrent. The infrastructure supporting this arsenal is vast, involving numerous silos, submarines, and aircraft, all maintained by a highly trained and ready military force.
China, while a later entrant to the nuclear club, has rapidly modernized and expanded its nuclear forces in recent decades. This modernization reflects China's growing ambitions on the global stage and its desire to secure a position of strength. While its arsenal is smaller than that of the United States, it is steadily growing in both size and sophistication. China's focus has been on developing advanced missile technology and improving the survivability of its nuclear forces. China's nuclear arsenal is a closely guarded secret, but estimates suggest it possesses a range of intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and tactical nuclear weapons. This secrecy adds an element of unpredictability to China's nuclear strategy. The exact numbers of nuclear warheads possessed by each country are shrouded in secrecy. This lack of transparency fuels speculation and concern among global observers and policymakers. However, both nations have enough firepower to cause catastrophic damage many times over. The potential for such destruction serves as a grim reminder of the stakes involved in nuclear diplomacy and the importance of maintaining strategic stability. This stark reality underscores the high stakes of the U.S. China rivalry and the urgent need to avoid nuclear escalation. Diplomatic efforts and strategic dialogues are crucial in preventing misunderstandings and managing the delicate balance of power between these two giants.
The South China Sea, a strategically vital waterway, has become a flashpoint in the U.S. China rivalry. This region, spanning over 3.5 million square kilometers, is one of the busiest maritime routes in the world, with trillions of dollars worth of trade passing through its waters annually. China claims sovereignty over almost the entire sea, a claim disputed by several Southeast Asian nations and the United States. These claims are based on historical maps and records, but they overlap with the exclusive economic zones of countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. This dispute has led to heightened tensions, with the potential to spark a wider conflict. Diplomatic efforts have been made to resolve these issues, but they have often been overshadowed by military posturing and nationalistic fervor.
China has asserted its claims through assertive actions, including building artificial islands. These man-made structures are equipped with airstrips, ports, and military installations, effectively extending China's reach into the sea and deploying military assets in the region. This includes advanced missile systems, radar installations, and a significant naval presence, all aimed at solidifying their control over the contested waters. The United States has responded by conducting freedom of navigation operations, challenging China's claims, and demonstrating its commitment to maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. These operations involve sailing naval vessels close to the disputed islands, asserting the principle that these waters are international and should remain open to all. The South China Sea is not just about territorial claims, it's about control of vital shipping lanes, access to natural resources, and regional dominance. The sea is rich in oil and natural gas reserves, and its fisheries are some of the most productive in the world, making it a critical economic zone. The stakes are high, and the potential for miscalculation is significant. With so many military assets in close proximity, even a minor incident could escalate into a larger confrontation. Any incident or confrontation in this volatile region could quickly escalate, drawing the United States and China into a direct conflict. The international community watches closely, aware that the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region hangs in the balance. The South China Sea remains a powder keg, with the potential to ignite a conflict that could have far-reaching consequences for global stability.
The development and deployment of hypersonic weapons represent a quantum leap in military technology, adding a new layer of complexity and danger to the U.S. China rivalry. These weapons, capable of traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, pose a significant challenge to traditional defense systems.
Both the United States and China are investing heavily in hypersonic technology, seeking a strategic edge in this new arms race. Hypersonic missiles, with their speed and maneuverability, could potentially evade existing missile defense systems, making them a game-changer in any future conflict. The introduction of hypersonic weapons has raised concerns about a new era of arms racing and the potential for miscalculation. Their speed and unpredictable flight paths compress decision-making time for leaders, increasing the risk of unintended escalation. The development and deployment of these weapons underscore the need for renewed dialogue and arms control efforts to prevent a destabilizing arms race.